College app season is here, and in this video I'm going to share my stats that got me a full ride to college. In other words, a $100,000 scholarship. Now, I know colleges love claiming that they're holistic, but at the end of the day, stats matter. And in this video I'm going to share my GPA, my SAT score, my AP exams, my extracurriculars, as well as general advice on how to get into college, as well as how to get a full ride into college, because there are extra steps involved to get a full ride. And trust me, as an Asian, more specifically Indian, male, straight guy, I know how exceptionally hard this can be. So starting off my GPA, my unweighted GPA was a 3.96 out of a 4.0 by the time I graduated high school. Now, mind you, that I had a 4.0 when I was applying to college. So what does this mean? Well, what this means is that I stopped caring about school in high school once I found out that, well, now that my colleges have received my applications, they received my transcripts, my third and fourth quarter grades really didn't matter as long as I didn't flunk and fail. Because of that, I started caring less about school, so my GPA dropped. I got like a couple of B's here and there. So I went from a 4.0 to 3.96. Again, still very stellar, but freshman year, sophomore year, and junior year, I really did care about my grades. I really made sure I got a 4.0, and luckily it worked out. Now, GPA is good and all, but colleges also look heavily into your QPA, which is your quality point average. So basically, a QPA is calculated, in my school at least, on a 6.0 scale. So if you got a 6.0, then that means you took all APs or GT classes. If you have like a 5.0, that means you got honor classes. If you have 4.0 and less, is standard classes. Now, a QPA, it takes into account the difficulty of your classes, right? Because as I said, GT and AP exam grades are worth more than the standard classes grades. And the reason this is very important is because colleges look at this to see, hey, if this guy is getting like a 5.5 or 5.8 QPA, he's not only getting straight A's, but he's also getting straight A's in super hard classes. Because you can get, straight A's in like standard classes 9 times out of 10, but getting straight A's in AP exam classes, that can be much harder. So colleges care about that, extra difficulty added in. Now, my QPA was a 5.36 out of a 6, and the reason being I did take standard classes, and as I said, a standard class A only counts as a 4 versus a 6. And now it's kind of impossible to get a 6.0 unless you have like AP gym, which doesn't exist because every freshman has to take gym. So like, you're not getting a 6.0. But as long as you're, high up in the rankings of your class, then, and your QPA is overall good, then you should be fine. Now that brings me to my next point, my class rank. Colleges do care about class rank. They ask for it, it's on your transcript, so don't act like you don't care about your class rank. At the end of the day, you kind of do. Now, if you're in the top 5%, then you are in a relatively good spot. I was number 1 ranked at the time I applied to colleges, and at the end of my senior year, I gave the valedictorian speech, all that stuff. Cool. It honestly was a cool, moment, being valedictorian. Super smart. Nah, I'm just kidding. I got lucky. But at the end of the day, that's my class rank. So take that as you will, right? Some colleges probably care about it more than others. I know Ivy Leagues, they definitely care about it more than, your public university. But the higher you are in the rankings, the higher GPA, the higher QPA, the better you are for, a full ride scholarship consideration, as well as getting into a college at all. Now, going back to the holistic process that, colleges love claiming they are, when at the end of the day, let's be honest, they have a nice borderline for grades. Like if you're not above that borderline, you're not even considered. And I know colleges like Harvard say, no, we consider everyone. No, stop lying. We know the truth. You guys got exposed. So starting off my extracurriculars, I did a lot. That's actually a really funny story of how my honor society extracurriculars ended up panning out, but I'll get into that later in the video. So starting off, I did varsity soccer my freshman year, sophomore year, and junior year of high school. Always have a sport extracurricular, okay? If you're not playing a sport, you're doing something wrong. In high school, try to pick up a sport. Join the badminton team, all right? I'm sure you can get in. Or join the lacrosse team. No one gets cut from the lacrosse team. All right, join one of those 2 sports and you already got your sports extracurricular. Now, if you, are joining soccer or the basketball team or the football team, which actually takes a little more skill, then good for you. And if you're able to make varsity as a freshman, then even better for you. It looks good. Right, it shows colleges that, hey, this guy isn't just caring about school and academics, he's also caring about like fitness and other stuff. The second extracurricular was Skills USA. So Skills USA is an organization that hosts a bunch of competitions nationwide, and the competition I had joined was a video game design. So I created this fear-based game and it went pretty well. I think we got 3rd place, which is kind of pretty good. I thought we would get gold, but we didn't. Sucked. sucked, really did suck. My third club was robotics. I did robotics for 2 years. To be honest, I really did for 1 year. I just said 2 years to show commitment. Robotics was very boring. I'll be honest. Our school wasn't too, they didn't care about the robotics team that much. But at the end of the day, the skills you say was worth more in my opinion, because like the scale it was on, it's on a national scale versus robotics, which is on like a regional scale. So I still put it on there because robotics shows my interest in science and math. And I was trying to go to MIT, and MIT robotics are like top of the arc, so I wanted to compete with that. This goes into my honor societies, because we all are a part of like gajillion honor societies. So the honor societies I was a part of, well, for the most part, was science, national, and Spanish. Now you guys might be like, what do you mean the most part? So I joined these honor societies my junior year of high school. In fact, that was the only time you could join societies. And surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, I got kicked out of every single one of them my senior year of high school. Now you guys might be wondering, whoa, you got kicked out of your honor societies? What'd you tell colleges? Junior year, I was a part of society for the whole year. By the time college apps came and I set my apps, I was still part of societies. I got kicked out the March of the year I was going to college. The reason I got kicked out was because I just didn't go to the meetings. Like I said, once my apps were sent, I really stopped caring about like grades, extracurriculars. Honor societies were just a waste of time, in my opinion. I really didn't care, and yeah, I got kicked out of all of them. I still remember going to my homeroom for AP Statistics and seeing a letter saying, "Hey there, Ritesh, you've been kicked out of the Spanish Honor Society." The next day, "Hey there, Ritesh, you've been kicked out of the National Honor Society." The next day, "Hey there, Ritesh, you got kicked out of the Science Honor Society." It was funny. I think I was the first valedictorian in history valedictorian to not have any cord around his neck. I had the medal though. I had the medal, but no cords. My fifth extracurricular was stock trading. Now, this is the extracurriculars that aren't really a part of school or associated with them. This is like the extracurriculars that are really extracurricular. Like you're going way above and beyond outside the realm of school. Stock trading is really cool, right? If you're under 18 or even 18, you're doing something like stock trading, investing, it shows colleges that you care about yourself, you care about financial wealth, you care about your future. And college would love to have a student, who cares about their future and cares about, their monetary, value at a certain point, at such a young point. They want that student part of their college, right? So I definitely included that, and I was a very avid stock trader. My next extracurricular I listed was my YouTube channel. At the time, this channel was at like 500 subs, and my other channel, which was actually an anime channel that's still up there, was at 11K subs. So I included that. That was pretty impressive. I'm sure colleges liked seeing that, even though I still got rejected by most of them. Now my seventh extracurricular was my internship, and I had a computer science internship my senior year of high school. So I included that as extracurricular because not everyone has an internship their senior year of high school, and I was doing a pretty solid job at this internship. I was creating websites, creating apps. So including that on my application definitely was to impress like MIT, Stanford, all those computer science universities that I was really, aiming for. And now to my test scores. So SAT coming up first, the one that everyone cares about. My math, I got an 800, and my reading, I got a 740 for a total score of 1540. Now this is a very high score. To be honest, I think the SAT is probably the most important metric, as well as your GPA when it comes to statistics for you when you're applying to colleges. But definitely focus on your SAT and your GPA, guys. I can't stress that enough. They both matter the same amount. Now, at the time, subject tests matter as well. So I took the SAT subject test math. I got a 780, which is pretty good because out of 800, but my percentile was 85%. So what that means was that test was really easy, and I just did bad, even though I only got 20 points off, which is ridiculous, whatever. My physics subject test, I got a 620, and I was in the 31st percentile. When I saw a 620, I knew that I failed. When I saw the 31st percentile, that was just reassurance that, hey, you failed. Cool, right? And now this brings me to my next extracurricular, AP exams. Yes, we love them. And by the way, my school does not have IB classes, so I don't know if you guys have some IB classes at your school. I cannot attest to them because I've never taken one. I've only taken AP. So across all 4 years of high school, I took my first AP class in 10th grade, 5 junior year, and 4 senior year for a total of 10 AP classes. Now these are the AP classes I took. I took AP Calc AB, AP Calc BC, Computer Science Principles, Physics, Lit, Lang, Psych, Micro, and Macro. For AP Calc and BC Calc, I got a 5. For Computer Science Principles, I got a 5. For Computer Science A, that's what it's called, yeah, I got a 5. For Lit, I got a 5. For Lang, I got a 4. For Psychology, I got a 5. For Physics, I got a 3. For micro, I got a 3. For macro, I got a 4. So I did pretty good overall, right? I got majority 5s across my APs. You know, I did get 2 3s, which is, you know, sad, but man, physics was hard. If you're getting a 5 on physics, you're a freak of nature. And then micro, macro, this goes back to me just not caring that much. I just stopped caring, like I said. And to be honest, I think most students that once they know like they're going to college, they just stop caring, and I was one of them. But yeah, those are my AP classes, and those are my scores. I do recommend taking at least 8 AP classes while you are at high school. My school did not let us take AP classes my freshman year, so I couldn't take an AP class my freshman year. Otherwise, I would have. So I took one sophomore year because we only were offered one. And then I loaded up junior year and I loaded up senior year. I do recommend taking as many AP classes as you can, like I said, because it just shows colleges that you're really trying to challenge yourself and you're up for that challenge. And now you can't just take the class and not take the exam. Like, don't do that. Take the exam as well, right? Because if you are able to get a 5 or even a 4 on an exam, not only does that show that the college is like, yeah, you did take that challenge on, but you succeeded too. Now you can take 10 AP classes and get a 1 on every single exam and be like, I still took 10 AP classes. You're right. But then the college would look at you like, dang, he took that challenge and he failed miserably. And now the part that a lot of you may have been waiting for, how do you get a full ride to college, right? How did I get a full ride to college? Well, a quick synopsis on my story was that the way my university works, University of Maryland College Park, is they approach you for a full ride. So you don't have to email them or anything. They'll tell you, hey, you know what? You're being considered for a full ride scholarship. Now, this doesn't mean that you get the full ride. There are still extra steps that you have to take. Now, let me tell you the extra steps I actually take. So once I got the offer for the full ride, right, they said that you automatically get half tuition paid for. If you want the full ride, like the entire full ride, not a half ride, then you have to do an interview process. Now, the interview process isn't too long. You basically have to go to the college on a certain date and you talk to 2 people. Now, the people I talked to, they're really cool, they're really chill, and they just basically ask you, you know, who you are, what you want to do at this college, what value can you provide to that college, and how the money, you know, can help you, or how the college will get a return on investment, you being the investment. And you basically just have to, you know, show off your skills, but still remain humble and have a nice blend. Then if the interviewers vibe with you and they think you're a cool person and they like, you know, your drive and your ambition, and they'll consider you for the full ride. And that's what happened with me. They liked me, I guess they liked who I was, and they say, you know what, we will give you the full ride. And that's how I got my full ride, a whole $100,000 scholarship. But one thing I do want to preface is that for my university, the only way that you could even be considered for a half ride to the college was if you had at least a 4.0 GPA, and that is the max. So I know I said at least, but you have to get a 4.0 GPA, otherwise you're not being considered. And you had to get above a 1500 in SAT. So basically you had to be statistically amazing, GPA wise and SAT score wise. Now after all of that, that's when they start looking at extracurriculars and your other stuff and the interview process. So that's why I say stats matter no matter how holistic a college claims to be. So yeah, these are my stats, my extracurriculars, and my tips on how to get a full ride into college and how to get into college in general. I know a lot of you may think I'm some smart person. You guys might want to see my insanely padded stats, but they're not insane at all. In fact, they're kind of average. So hopefully you guys, you know, take this into account and realize that anything is possible. You can get to any college you want. Because if I got to any college, then you can get to any college. So if you guys enjoyed the video and you vibe with my energy and you want to see me grow and you want to grow with me, then be sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment down below when you guys are applying for colleges, or if you guys are already in college. If so, what college did you go to? I'm curious. Thank you all for watching. Peace.